So what we have here is a Harrier CBHQ base station from one of our regular private collectors, and this came in probably a couple of years ago. Really doesn't matter when it came in, but we have done this one. It was a set that had been ruined by being 80 channeled as far as I can see, and it's also been in a smoking household at some time in its life, for a long time in its life. So that you've got a complete yellow nicotine. Let's just see if we can find a scrap Cybernet chassis just to compare. You know what this is looking like. So there's a non-nicotine one in comparison. I don't know whether the colour shows that we've got this yellowness on the cans, which you haven't got on one which hasn't. Now the problem is that he's got intermittent transmit on it. So I removed the transmit VCO trimmer and then discovered we hadn't got any in stock, so I had to order some. So they've now arrived and we'll pop that in. So what's happened is, because of the nicotine, sometimes if there's wax goes in these, when they've missed putting the wax, which just to make the VCO stable, just sometimes we can end up with ruined preset trimmers. So there we go. So we'll fit that new one the right way round, and the right way round is outlined on the board. It's so that the positive and negative end of the plates are the right way round. And I'll tell you what, if you're ever in doubt, when you've got a scrap set, you can always, they're not so obvious on those, but these were nicer design. So 20 picofarads. I'm going to have to change glasses. And this should be the end of the radio shenanigans. So we changed the capacitors in the power supply before, as you can see there, and probably that one has had a few bits and pieces when it came in for its overhaul. There we go. So I'll try and hold that in place. I was going to say and solder one leg, and then I just heard the reel of solder go on the floor. So what we'll just do is to bend down the legs so that it doesn't fall out. It gives it some mechanical stability. I was going to say stabadical mechanicity or something. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Right, to solder that in, I'm going to go over the board with isopropyl alcohol and just have a look for it in case there's any dry joints lurking beneath the film of nicotine. I've previously cleaned it in strategic areas, but now we're getting this playing up, I need to clean it in this area just to be absolutely sure. I've run out of it. I'll go and pinch one off Mr. Chippy. So this is the much more expensive Servicol aerosol version, but seeing as I've run out and I haven't ordered, we'll use this. Right, I'll just have a jolly good inspection of this now. Okay, well I've looked at that and I can't see anything. What I'm going to do is run it on the power supply instead of the mains, and I can then monitor the current consumption easier. There we are, 13.8 volts, and we will power it up. We need to be on channel 40, and we'll set the VCO. I did read it before taking it apart, and it was right, but it's obviously intermittent, or it wouldn't be playing up. So resistor 4. Right, after letting it dry for a bit, let's see whether we can get a VCO setting. Right, 315. See if we can get 4. That should be near enough. And then on receive, I'm going to put 2799125 in on the signal generator just to make it so I can actually hear it receive when it does, if it does. .95, we'll go back to transmit, because they're interactive, as I keep saying. And now we don't have transmit. Right, 4 volts ish. Receive 4 volts. Transmit 4 volts. Receive 4 volts. Transmit. Receive. Let's go to channel 1. So it should be 1.82 to 2.3, somewhere around that region. So we're in receive. Fine. We're in transmit. That's absolutely fine. So as we are, that works nicely. So put the meter away. We're going to leave this on overnight. Do the on the air test, but without the lid on. Just see whether this one's had a crystal filter, which it must have passed our test last time. Stick it on. What shall we do? I will be checking deviation. Go to channel 20. Wow, that is correct, but we will check it with the testing instrument behind me. And as I say, we've got some capacitor issue on this one with its deviation meter. No other issues with this. Somebody put a comment in, I've got all kinds of issues with the test set, but I haven't, you know. And furthermore, we've got 3 of these. But I'm not moving this one. So we test it on the test bench behind. Well, actually it's a little bit high. where I normally have them. So how's that? That's where I have them. How come that's got overlooked last time? Well, that's now right. Turn that off. So all I'm doing is checking deviation and frequency. This isn't a retune. It was done. I'm going to go back to 2779125 on the signal generator just to make sure it's receiving it better than 1 microvolt. I can hear it at 0.3, so I don't need any readings. It's absolutely fine. Transmit. I will spray those controls as a courtesy. Transmit is doing the kind of power we'd expect. And what else? Frequency. Is absolutely fine, so that doesn't need touching. We'll go over to its own power supply, just so I get. Oh, just check low power. 200 milliwatts. So just do that. Yeah, they can dry up these and sometimes need replacing. Let's do that. Let's set that. So we'll take it off the bench power supply. And plug it into the mains. Just going to check the power supply voltage is somewhere safe. So now we're on its own power supply. Get that meter back. Just see whether we can get some kind of voltage. Is it there? Seems to be running a little high, that. It's not scarily high, but whilst I'm here, we'll pop it down. So where have I lost the earth strap? I'll do it on the air test. That's 13.88. No, that's fine. Transmitter. Doing 4 watts. Right, that's it then. Check it's doing 4 watts on the other channels. Channel 41, channel 40, yeah it is. Good, that's working very well. I'll need to borrow Mr. Chippy's applicator. Okay, so it stayed absolutely stable during the last 4 hours. I'll leave it on the bench overnight. I'll switch it off so that it cools down. We'll try it tomorrow morning. I've tapped around with the screwdriver on the printed circuit board just in case there's dry joints. I've just put half the screws in just for now so we can do an on-the-air test. And it's still staying. Let's go into the main meter, into perfect transmit. Right, we'll put the lid on with a few screws. Put these great big ones in, that will do for now. Now, you remember we did that Fidelity, well we didn't, we did that Midland 2001, was it 10 days ago, which for a trade customer in Sheffield. He's sent me 3 more sets which he can't get to the bottom of. Let's hope they're not as scary as that one. That'll do. Right, we'll swap the test equipment for the aerial. I won't do the extension speaker on this because there's not really much point with it being a forward-facing speaker anyway. Quick do a 1-9 Roger, which won't get anybody. 1-9 Roger. There we go. So not a retune, just a repair of a previously serviced set. So there we are. Hopefully that will be spot on for hopefully another 25 years. Thanks for watching.